views expressed in the following show are for entertainment purposes only. They're not necessarily the views of Twin Galaxies, HD Films, or any other affiliates. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Settle It on the Screen for August 7th, 2015.
I was going to say August 4th. I don't know where I am.
I'm Michael Sroka. This is Nick Houslander.
What's up?
And Glendo's not with us, but it's our first year anniversary of Settle It on the Screen on Twin Galaxies Live.
We survived.
We survived 1 year, so next week if we're here, maybe you know why we're cut. But
exactly.
Thank you for all joining us tonight. Settle It on the Screen is the commentary show about the Twin Galaxies database, gaming events and competitions. We'll get to the Kong Off 4 and the Igby 2 coming up on this show. We got some guests, of course, but it's been a whole year, Nick.
I know.
It's been a whole year.
What the heck has it been a year already?
I don't know. It's crazy. Almost every Friday night here broadcast.
No, I know. When Mike told me a couple weeks ago, he's like, our 1 year anniversary's coming up. I was like, what? Like, how have we been doing this show a year? Mainly, what did we do from August to January last year? We did shows every week. I don't know what we talked about.
We were on for 2 hours.
I know. It was like
waiting,
double shows, too.
We were basically waiting for, our show was, we didn't really talk about much because there wasn't world records and stuff.
Like all our inside jokes came from.
Yeah, and there's some dandies of us gameplay, but we've been here a year, and of course we've been doing the Twin Galaxies podcast for over
6 years.
5 years, off and on because of all the stuff. Yeah. So it's been a great journey. And just real quick, I'll show some pictures here a little bit later. It's also the 5-year anniversary since the Big Bang and Atumwa event where they tried to do the International Video Game Hall of Fame. I'll show some pictures from that. I can't believe it's been 5 years since that and how things have evolved since that. It's amazing. To be honest with you, Billy Mitchell hasn't held the world record for over not 5. It was 5 years from today that he announced his Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. record, and the amount of times that record's been beaten since that has been amazing. I mean, one of the funny things is I'll quickly show I don't know where it is. The funny part is we're sitting there and he's like, I've got 2 new Donkey Kong world records, and I'm standing next to Mark Keel, or Josh was standing next to Mark Keel, not me. I don't want to be what's his name, Brian Williams. I don't want to misreport it. He goes over to Josh. He's like, I got a scorpion at home. And I'm just like, oh, that's so awesome. He doesn't even know that. So we're going to kind of go through a little news and events here, what's coming up. Yep. We got DataGod joining us tonight, a spectator at the Kong Off, one of the our first guest here on Settle on the Screen on Twin Galaxies. And we have a competitor, Wes Copeland of the Kong Off 4 in Twin Galaxies Live 2. He's going to be audio and organizer of the Igby and a few other tournaments online. So he was supposed to be on a few weeks ago. So we got a jam-packed show, so let's get it going.
Right, man.
So world records for the week of August 7th, 2015. It's all you, Nick.
We got Stephen Boyer from the U.S. of A. MAME, shuffleboard, biggest blowout, 39. That is good. I will say, though, when we used to go on vacation up in northern Michigan, you and I could have laid down more than 39 in our sleep.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just biggest blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, is one.
Remember some of those biggest blowouts? We had like over 100 points.
Here we go. Popeye for the Atari 400/800 computer.
Oh, man.
Default settings 105,940. Very, very cool to see this submission from Mike Yensenko. What?
3D display there.
No, it's the camera's on an angle.
No, but I mean, just like I know it's not actually.
Oh, have you ever played Popeye?
No, actually I haven't.
Oh, okay. I'm used to it.
No, it's kind of cool.
Oh, it's a great
it's
game.
Not actually 3D.
It's a great game. Congratulations to Mike Yeskenko, we'll say.
Yeskenko?
Yeah.
Sure.
He'll tell us afterwards. From Orlando, Florida. One of his first world records to the database, and I think he's going to be submitting some more, or he has at this point. So this is a record that was over 10 years old that he beat, too. So
wow, that's pretty dang good. We got William Rosa from Vermilion, Ohio. It's been a while since we read one of his scores. Atari 2600, Masters of the Universe. Game 1, difficulty B, 59,800 points.
Yep, another score that's been beaten. That's been up for a while.
No, that's good, man.
Newcomer Cody Brenner from nowhere. from Orlando to Florida. Triple jump furthest distance, 158 feet.
158.
You should hear 4.64. You should hear him here, like you do on track and field, where you kind of alternate your fingers. He's doing that to the game controller. You just hear it in the background. It's very cool submission to watch.
That's cool.
So
quick,
definitely do that
too.
Oh yeah.
We got Lonnie McDonald from Grandview, Missouri, USA. Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. J-Rock?
I don't know. I think Bill will be able to explain.
Okay.
Bill,
well, that's what we're calling it. Yeah. Do you know what that is?
What is that system? Data?
Or not?
Oh, the rock system? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Do you know something about that? We're uneducated.
Yeah, I do. The programmable field gate array. So it's it's a hardware system, but it uses an original Motorola 6800 processor to run the actual ROMs. So it's not an emulator. It actually contains the original hardware. It's just it's fabricated with modern technology.
Oh, so we it's like a Genesis games on it, and it's not emulated either.
Yeah, I only know about the Robotron. There's a Williams set that has 5 games on it, and then there's the Berserk one, the Stern one. And J-Rock is, I guess that's the handle of the guy that actually builds them. J-R-O-K.
Okay.
So it's new.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're relatively new. They're continuing. He manufactures them himself. He may send them out to someone if he does 200 or 300 boards at a time, but it's his design. There are other that technology. FPGMA or whatever it is has been around for a couple of years. It's like those Arduino boards or the Raspberry Pi. It's a smaller scale manufacturing of awesome hardware.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of awesome.
It's how MAME is software emulation. The J-Rock boards are pretty much hardware emulation. So you can build it to mimic the hardware of a particular machine, and as long as you put in the original CPU, because Motorola still will manufacture them. You put in the original.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Sega Genesis runs off that same chip as well.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, absolutely. And
the Sega arcade.
Dang.
They did thorough tests of, say, one of the games, Berserk, like millions and millions and millions of cycles. And there was absolutely no difference between that and the original Berserk actual hardware, the motherboard. So people will, it's not the same. It might as well be like me. No, this is hardware identical.
Yeah, but here on Twin Galaxies, it's tracked separately.
That's fine. At least it's
That's
tracked,
fine.
and it's not, it's not thrown under MAME or anything like that.
Cool. It's almost like the McLaren Mustangs, where McLaren just soups up a car and then it's called that almost, even though it is a Mustang. It's
still the original.
It's still the original
design.
But he like takes it a step further almost. Yeah. And I know it's different because he's trying to emulate exactly what it is, but it's almost kind of like. I like it. That's a cool idea in itself.
And one credit, he played for 4 hours.
Yeah.
45 minutes or something. Yeah. I didn't verify it.
10,062,150 points for Joust.
And for those of you who may know or don't know, Lonnie McDonald kind of took a road trip around America, maxing out the score.
Oh, sweet.
On all Joust machines, and he would mark it, and he has a little map. And I think there's a website that tracks his progress of all the machines in North America that he maxed the score, or I'm not knowledgeable enough, but he's a very awesome Joust player for sure.
Yeah, he also won the Conn Smythe in the 1989 Stanley Cup Finals.
That's right.
Got rid of the beard though. Looks weird.
And a new world record for Martin James for the United Kingdom, who'll be joining us next week on the show to talk about this world record of 241,243 points. Breaking the record from over 8 years and by 80,000 points. So I don't know if people just didn't submit it, but at this point, it is a pretty awesome submission. My understanding is Martin has 3 of these machines.
Damn.
So I'm assuming it's his favorite game since it's first submission to Twin Galaxies. So those are just a few select world records for this week. If you want to see all the latest world records, go to twingalaxies.com. You can compete with us as well. Find frequently asked questions, all that good stuff. Basically, Guinness recognizes these as world records too. Yeah. So make sure you check it out.
And if you want to go back like 6 months, I believe me and Mike played hard driving for about
Sega Genesis.
2 straight hours on
Yeah.
the Sega Genesis one. So that score is awesome.
Oh,
that
that is
game
an
is
awesome
fun
game.
as hell, but it is so hard.
So yeah,
Hard
well,
driving
you just
that
gotta be really accurate. You don't want to go in the grass to get that extra point.
Definitely not.
But we were playing on Sega. I mean, he
No.
probably had a more enjoyable time playing. Cool, I love it. But we're gonna get to a little bit here. Real quick, we got some program notes. We're gonna talk to Wes here shortly in data. But what we want to announce and talk about a little more, Jace talked about this last week on, what is it called? Oh, geez. State of the Galaxies. There's a website up now. It's twingalaxiesfestival.com. It has all the information for the October through 4th event at the Twin Galaxies Esports Center, or for some of you may know it as the Museum of Pinball. Over 800 pinball machines. There's going to be a whole bunch of arcade machines, consoles on free play. The website is up, so please go up and check out the prices. It's only 54 days, 22 hours and 47 minutes until the fun begins at the Twin Galaxies Arcade Center. I'm just reading the stuff on the screen.
Yeah, you can read it
as a teleprompter. We'll go quickly. We'll just do a little competitions here, gaming competitions. There's 4 of them right now. Will there be more? Starting on October 2nd at 2 p.m. The Intellivision.
I was going to say, that looks like it at your system.
Yeah, it looks like something I might compete in if I'm eligible.
That's kind of awesome.
From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday. Then that evening, the Atari 2600. Stuff falling in the studio. From 6 to midnight to play in the decathlon. NES will be on Saturday in the afternoon, and then, of course, everybody's favorite, the arcade machines will be in the evening, which I think will be super packed. And there's something new that I just see. There's a Mortal Kombat tournament
definitely.
On a modern console.
Yep.
Who knows if it's SNES?
That's Sunday,
PlayStation 2. Oh, it says modern console, so probably the new Mortal Kombat on PlayStation 4. It's my assumption. It says modern console.
Okay.
So modern could be.
I guess it does say modern.
Modern could be PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4.
I was going to say modern console could be Sega.
No, it's
okay.
classic.
I wasn't sure because it's arcade and a television, Atari, and Nintendo. You know.
So that's coming up October 2nd through 4th in California. Go to the website twingalaxiesfestival.com for more information. Jace will probably have some more information next week on the State of the Galaxies, and I'm assuming the website. Prices are up. Nearby hotels. Basically, if you're coming out of town, you're going to want to fly into LAX is what we are looking to do if we will be there. We're not sure if we'll be there or
We're
not.
hoping to be there, though.
But, so it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
VIP packages already sold out.
Yeah,
so.
It looks like early bird VIP packages. I don't know what that entails either. But,
it's on the website.
But check it out. We'll probably be talking about it every week until...
2 months straight, you can look forward to us yakking about this thing. So.
When we're not talking about the NHL 94 tournament.
Oh, yeah.
But that'll end September 12th
or
something. So.
It will. Can't wait, baby.
Yep. So, we have in Twin Galaxies Live 2, Wes Copeland. Are you there, Wes?
Hey, I'm here. Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear you fine. That's awesome. How you doing, Wes?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
Good.
Not bad.
Wes competed this past weekend in the Kong Off 4. Unfortunately, Wes did not win.
Damn it.
Not enough to come on our show.
So disappointing.
Hank Chen won his second Kong Off. So
nice.
Basically now it's...
he won the first
He's
and
won
the
the
fourth, right?
first and the fourth.
Nice going, Hank!
And Jeff Wilms won the second and the third one.
That's
So Robbie Blakeman's still the world record holder. So it's 2-2 right now, and
it's kind of
more
cool.
competitors. And I love the format.
Yeah.
Format was a qualifier, and then comes down Sunday was head to head each game. I thought
it's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, that is a very cool way. I guess DataGod's on the line as well as a spectator. Have you been to any other Kong Offs, or was that your first Kong Off, Data?
No, that was my second Kong Off, and I wasn't a spectator, man. I was part of the media. They even had a media pass.
Okay. Well,
So,
okay, not playing. How was it compared to the?
I was spectating. I was there to cheer them on and hang out with my friends. That I knew about half of the players. I got to meet a bunch of them for the first time in person because I know them on Facebook. And I was hanging out with Joel West and my wife. I brought my wife and my kids. We had a great time watching the event. Watching Ricky do his thing. Ricky. Thinking of Ricky's hot sauce, Richie Knuckles, and it was an amazing event.
Very cool. So, Wes, this was your first time competing, correct? I don't want to. You were.
Yeah, this was my first time going to Kong Off. I've not really been playing Donkey Kong all that long. Whenever Kong Off 3 was going on, I wasn't even a kill screener yet. I think my PB was maybe around 300K. So yeah, this is my first go at it. I did a bit better than I expected to. So hopefully I can improve my performance next year. I'm pretty sure by next year my skills will be at a place where I have a legit shot to take the whole thing. But with the format, the way that it is, with 1 credit head-to-head, once you're in the bracket, it's really impossible to tell who the winner will ultimately be. So I think that is really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Makes it a spectator.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, it makes it so much more
Because
interesting.
it's 1 credit. I
Yeah.
don't know how many times you just start Donkey Kong and you just have a flub of the beginning of it, but this is
Every time
This
I
is
play.
no holds bar. This is just you push start, you better perform, or you're not moving on to the next round.
Yeah.
I like it a lot because it reminds me of. Well, it's not reminds me. I guess I don't know if it's still done that way, but
It's like
professional bowling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, granted, I don't know if people would want to do this, but I think it would be kind of cool. I'm not saying change the Kong Off, but when you get down to the last 5 qualifiers in bowling, they rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And what they do on TV, they bowl 1 game. Of course, Donkey Kong's a 2-hour game, so it's going to be a little bit different.
Yes.
But 4 plays 5. The winner of 4 and 5 goes on to play. The winner plays 3. The winner of that match plays 2. So if you qualify first,
Yeah.
there's a main reason that you really want to play good to qualify.
Okay.
I kind of like that too. I think that format would work, but the head-to-head, that makes it really exciting
Oh
because
my
you're watching
God.
multiple games at the same time.
Absolutely.
So that's
And the thing that makes head-to-head brutal always is number 1 and number 2 might play each other, but number 2's out.
yeah.
So I mean,
never know.
it's good and it's bad, but the competition, it makes everything competitive.
Wes, was it a little overwhelming for you for this first Kong Off? I know it more plays than ever.
No, I don't really think it was. I mean, the control panel I was playing on there was better than the one that I use at home. In fact, I'll be driving out to New Jersey to grab it from Richie at the end of the month. While I'm there, we're also going to discuss details about Kong Off 5, which will be exactly a year from the end of Kong Off 4. So I've been kind of gathering insights from all the players who were there on what they thought was great, what they thought had room for improvement. And I'm going to be talking with Richie about that to see, how we can make things move forward in a more positive and constructive way to make the event even better in the future. Because I feel like that's really the limit for how far we can take this thing. We just have to kind of push through and go.
Oh yeah, and it's been from us being at the very first one.
Yeah.
It was very grassroots. It was at it was at Richie Knuckles Arcade. The whole
In
arcade
New Jersey.
was just packed.
Oh, it was. It was,
People.
and
And
it's
it
kind
was-
of like in the middle of nowhere. Really.
And it was, I mean,
It
it was
felt like
it was amazing in itself, and the point that
Oh, it's
how much
cool.
it's grown. I really wish we could have been there just to be a spectator, really not to be a media guy like
Yeah,
Data
yeah.
over here with this beautiful photographs that we all can see on the internet.
Why, thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you Dina, as well for those photos.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
great memories and stuff like that. It's like the video we took back then.
Oh, totally.
It was great for the people that make it.
Yeah, speaking of the format, I think one thing that kind of goes unnoticed is how big of a deal it is, trying to qualify for that top 8, how much of an impact that has on the scoring round, which is the first 2 days where everybody's competing over the highest score. In the past 3 Kong Offs, from what I've gathered, most of the players just competed at their highest possible playing potential or just went outright for the world record the entire time. So it didn't produce, as many million-point games or, just the quality of the games is what you'd expect if somebody was grinding, day in and day out for the world record. You have a lot of restarts, a lot of grinding for a start. Whereas if you're trying to get to 8th or higher instead of number 1 in the world, you have just way more high-quality games as a live spectator. There were a lot more kill screens going on. I think it's overall great for the event even if I don't necessarily agree with a single coin drop in the bracket format, just having the format there, it makes the scoring, round so much better. I think that's kind of overseen, but I think that's really interesting, and it really improved the event this year.
I mean, from a spectator view, I think that's awesome. Just like a few weeks ago, I think Weeby played for a promotion for, I think, the Pixels movie at the Mall of America. I mean, just the fact that he kill screened it, for some people, even for us, even though how much we've talked about Donkey Kong, destroy Donkey Kong machines, all that good stuff, still was cool to see him really get that low score kill screen. Still seeing a kill screen is a thrill in itself, and that's pretty awesome. Hopefully we make it out. Is there any, Wes, do you know of any details? I mean, obviously nothing's finalized, but
for next year,
is it going to be in the same place, same type of event? Do you have any insight on that?
It will be at Replay Effects again. Richie is on a 2-year contract. I think he's made that public by now, so it's okay for me to say that.
Awesome.
Yeah, Weeby, to answer Phil in the chat, Weeby didn't get a kill screen, but Billy Mitchell did. Billy actually got the first kill screen of the event, which I thought was really interesting. Now, as far as more details about Kong Off 5 itself, I would imagine, since the format was so well received, that we'll go, in the same direction again. Some people have different ideas about how we can improve it. Dean had some really interesting ideas, and I've heard some different ideas from other folks. But ultimately, it's Richie's event. It's what he decides. We can only try to sort of throw our influence into the ring. So we'll just wait and see. I can't say for sure.
Hey, Wes, you ever consider something like this? I mean, this would really, as a spectator, this would be awesome. You put Weeby and Mitchell together. Weeby runs the joystick, and Mitchell presses the button. I mean,
2 guys, 1 machine?
Yeah. And you pair them up, and you put
Have you seen that?
Put Hank Chen and Vincent LeMay together?
Yes,
that'd be awesome,
great.
too. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
See what happens.
Yeah, we've done that, unofficially, competitions and stuff, but we've never actually played publicly that way. That would be fun.
I think just maybe a Friday night.
I was thinking a
competition.
Friday night exhibition thing. Yeah, 10 to midnight.
Yeah, just maybe one round, or just maybe not all the players. Just kind of I don't know. It'd be fun for everybody.
Think of how great it would be if you said Billy Mitchell and Steve Weeby are playing together.
Yeah.
Come on, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I actually think that's a great idea. Because the first day of the event, we're not officially playing, so Billy's kill screen score didn't actually count. It's just the warm-up day, and we don't actually have anything planned that day. It's just a meet and greet, but we just show up and do nothing. So that's actually, I think that's a fantastic idea. If we had organized exhibitions that day that don't really count towards anything except maybe glory and $50. I think that would be really fun for the crowd.
That'd be
maybe
fun.
The stream.
Yeah, I mean it would be totally silly, but that's why people would like it.
I like that a lot. That's really cool.
No, hey Wes, what was your highest score you got last weekend?
I got 1,060,900.
Dang, really? Oh my god!
Yeah, I managed to edge out Dean and Jeff Wilms by 100 points.
I saw that. I posted that.
That held.
That was Saturday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That held.
Yeah,
nice.
I got to level 21. I got to the last barrel board of level 21 with 1,014,000 with 3 guys left. So I was able to kill 2 of my guys off, and then go to the kill screen on my last man. It was really fun. There's a lot. You asked if I felt any pressure. I definitely felt pressure at that moment because I had to, sacrifice 2 guys for 15,000 points each, which is very, very, very difficult to do. But I was just relieved that the game was over and I didn't have to play that way again. I could just focus on playing safe for the bracket.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very cool. Awesome. That's cool as a first timer.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty sweet. So, hey, Data, I know we're talking about the Kong Off 4. We're going to get into the Internet Gaming Bash of the Year here because Wes is the organizer of this wonderful online competition. But I want to, since Data, you were there as a spectator and you weren't just playing Donkey Kong, what else was at Replay FX that you thought was pretty cool? So everybody else goes next year. Give us some reasons to go next year. Other than
everyone, if you can drive there or fly or whatever it takes, you got to go. it was beyond my wildest expectations. I was at the banning one in California in January. That was incredible, seeing 500 pinball machines and hundreds of arcade machines in one spot. That was incredible. This place, it was just twice the size. Now, not twice the number of machines, but there was so much more space. There was no crowd because the room was so voluminous. There was just lines and lines and lines of machines to play, and you could spend all day playing. You never had to wait in line because they had so many machines, 700 machines. They had a huge section just for consoles. Every home console you had ever heard of, they had them there. They had thousands of games to play. They had a huge library on site.
You already won us over. There's console games there?
Oh, absolutely, because this is a retro FX. Everything retro is being celebrated. Oh, yeah. They had Genesis, they had Nintendo. I was playing a Vectrex. I saw them as a kid. I never got to play them. When I put my hands on a Vectrex, I said, "How could people not own these right now? They are so. It's like a miniature asteroids machine on the table. It was fantastic."
Yeah. One thing that was really cool that they had there. I'm sorry. One thing that was awesome, though, if you're really into like the console scene, that I thought was really just fantastic. Every NES game you can imagine was for sale there. They even had an NWC cart, which is really fun. I know Ethan Daniels, he commented he got to touch one. So that's cool, I guess. But one thing that really stood out to me, they actually had a homebrew NES game on sale that had never been sold anywhere else before. It made its debut at the event. And it looked really well made. So it's really cool. People are still programming for the NES and like actually releasing games onto cartridges, and there was one for sale there. That was really sweet.
Very cool.
Well, especially since it was actually on the cartridge too. I mean,
yeah.
For whatever reason, to me, makes it more real.
So. Oh yeah, even though at that point. Oh,
so if you need more reasons to go, there's a huge vendor section of all kinds of cool stuff. They also had there's more than just Stern making modern pinball machines. They had two companies. I believe one is from the UK. One it's a real pinball machine with a real ball and flippers, but the play field is video. So there's different, and there's a couple of real ramps in it, but the targets and everything are screen, and that particular machine had 5 games that you could load and play. That was cool. They had just another brand new manufacturer, and there was a race car game, but it was a pinball. But then they had Eugene Jarvis has a company that makes the Big Buck Stream. They had that set up with about 8 games, a super crazy version of sit-down Batman that you race around in a car. And these are all networked, and they had tournaments going on in those, and they had zombie, so you're using a shotgun. Instead of hunting deer or whatever, you're hunting zombies. That was amazing. And then for people who brought their kids, this was brilliant on the organizers. They had 5 bouncy castle things. So the huge slides, the stuff where you put Velcro on, you jump on a wall. They had this massive wrecking ball that you toss around and smash into other people. So my kids absolutely went crazy there. It was so good. Best 4-day vacation ever.
Wow. Awesome.
No kidding,
all right, so let's get ready, Nick, and go work. We'll probably go work.
That's what we do when we go to video game tournaments.
We just work.
We've never actually... Okay, that's not true. We went to one last year that we definitely didn't work in.
Well, but I envision, just to let you guys know, I mean, I'll send Richie I know we did have a stream at some point for Sunday. We're definitely here at on the screen in Twin Galaxies. Definitely want to volunteer that hopefully next year we can have a setup where we can stream the whole weekend event with broadcasters, all the cameras, how every screen was on their own monitor so the crowd could see it like they had at the event, but those screens would go into a switcher and then we could sit there and decide based on where someone's near kill screen will switch cameras just for the a huge multi-event, so everybody at home. But we also don't want to discourage people from not going either.
No,
so hopefully that will be in the works next year. Because I was watching a few streams. Some of the players and fans had their own streams going from their phones, or like I said, Richie had a stream going up for a little bit. But I think that'd make it bigger, better, and more.
I don't think that running your own stream is going to discourage anyone from going. Anyone who is going to go is already going to be there. The stream is just the icing on top for people who can't make it for whatever reason. Like my friends and family were totally in the dark about what was going on because the only online scoreboard or streaming was just done by the community. So I think that would be a major asset if you guys were able to do that, and would be very appreciated. So I wouldn't be worried about people not going because you didn't facilitate that.
That's the thing, we want to make sure people go to the event, but we definitely want to get new people involved. And I think the broadcast, because that's what we kind of thought of at the first Kong Off too. It was like, this would be cool if you get the multiple cameras going into a switcher and we go switch back and forth. And I think it would be people that ain't involved running around. Like Richie was trying to do his best Sunday. He's answering things in the chat, but he's responsible. He's doing so much. So one less thing, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do. It'd be a great weekend too. So, and then everybody at home would enjoy it. And those Australians who play Donkey Kong can enjoy it. Yeah. If they don't come,
the huge advantage of that place is the room. Right? There's so much space. So they had, I think it was 22 Donkey Kong cabinets all in a line, and it was roped off area. But you could just walk behind people behind the rope and see the screen. You could see the large display of what they have, a little camera playing on their game that was playing. There was a crowd would gather when there was a screen, right? But other than that, there was always easy access to see. So you could have like a couch set up with commentators. And they could be, flip through the feed and have someone like Mitch Elliott, because he commentated on the Steve Wiebe performance, at the Mall of America. He did a great job. I think this has the potential to go like really big in the esports entertainment world for people to watch on Twitch or wherever. But definitely being at the event was it's incredible. I was at the Kong Off 3, which was held in the basement of the in the 1UP Arcade, which is a basement bar. It was crowded. You couldn't move because people wanted to see, but there just wasn't physically enough room. This place, room was not an option. Room was not a problem at all.
Yeah, it was great. Awesome. Just compared to the first one, we're like, that would be. Richie's Knuckles did a great job hosting at his home arcade. He rented out a place next door, moved all his regular games over there on the other side of the barber shop.
That was good.
And it was sweet. They even moved pinball games because Richie only had so much room. Yeah. They moved him into the barber shop. People were getting their haircuts. I even got a shave.
You got a straight razor shave.
While Josh was talking to Steve Sanders for an interview and stuff like that. It was very homey. It was a homey
very
feel,
cool.
But it
Spent
has
a lot of time in that barber shop.
Oh yeah. It's so hot in the other
It was,
It was very awesome memories of that first one we have, and we got to get back to it. So number 5, hopefully, Dan Man 1 2 3 4 5 6. Thank you for the feed. I watched a lot of your footage, or from I don't know where you were streaming from on Saturday, but I was watching your stream. So thank you so much for the entertainment. Like I said, we'll talk. Well, I'll reach out to Richie, and I'm assuming Jace Hall will at some point for next year, so we can get a nice multimedia package together.
That'd be cool.
Not saying that we will, but hopefully we could do that.
Cool.
It would be very cool for new people to find out about the competition. And to be honest with Twitch out there,
it's made it so much easier.
We gotta. I mean, this is the time to do it.
No, absolutely. So. Well, you talk about that too. I mean, it's not like broadcasting football or baseball games to stop people from going to the game.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
it's better to be there.
No, exactly. And when you talk about a convention, it's even more so. I mean, I've been to a lot of conventions at this point in my life.
Nerd.
Yeah, come on. I'm co-hosting a video game show right now. Of course, I'm a nerd. But watching the streams of a lot of the conventions I go to, which are now like readily available in HD with great production, it doesn't even touch being there.
Yeah,
and it's the same with that stuff. Yeah. We can watch it on a stream, but especially we've been to video game tournaments. It looks cool, but all it does is make me want to go there.
Yeah.
So I don't. You know.
That's the purpose. That's the purpose.
Exactly. So
yeah.
I don't think there's any worry about that.
Oh yeah.
All you got to do is it just needs exposure, and then people look at it, and if they don't think it's cool, they were never going to begin with. Yeah. But if it's out there at all, someone who never even considered going is going to go, man, that actually.
So really doing a full broadcast. I think we'll definitely push it even further.
Oh, totally.
Especially. So, let's talk about another tournament. As much as we love Kong Off and Donkey Kong, do you think real quick? Do you think people would be okay with me burning a Donkey Kong machine at Replay FX or no?
Or would a sledgehammer be better?
We would prefer to see you wearing a Super Mario Speedo than to see you burning a Donkey Kong cabinet.
All right, I just want to make sure.
So, so he has to wear the Speedo while he's burning?
Actually,
Or-
I
That
do want
would be
Donkey
acceptable.
Kong-
Okay.
Go ahead. I actually do
The
want
hammer?
to. No. There is.
Please do that.
Maybe you guys can help me. Did Richie make a miniature Donkey Kong machine? I saw a picture of it.
I didn't see him making one. He made two yellow ones in honor of the Pittsburgh colors, but there were several miniature Donkey Kong cabinets there brought by other people.
Okay, and they were for sale. I kind of want one of those.
So you can destroy it.
Not so I can destroy it. I think they're really cool.
Oh.
It's
They're
ridiculous.
cool. My son was playing one, and he's only 5, so it.
Yeah, I saw the
How big
picture.
are they?
They're like this tall.
It's
They're
kinda
perfect for like a 3 or 4 year old,
That's
or
awesome.
maybe 5, a little bit taller. At
Like a
that point.
tall dog, maybe.
Yeah, yes, a tall
Okay.
dog would enjoy playing the miniature Donkey Kong.
I'd like to see Jace Hall playing one of those. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be entertaining in itself. So the Igby 2 is over. We'll throw up the standings.
Yes, I want to know who won. Who won?
I did. I retired. I'm done.
Wrong tab. There you go. It's over. The Internet Gaming Bash.
Oh wow, they
Year 2
really increased that.
is
lead.
over. MAME won, which I expected. I mean, come on. It's
Garbage.
MAME. We're
Garbage.
playing MAME's games.
Pennis came in second.
Yeah,
Good for
Pennis
them,
came in
man.
second. The arcade gamers from the Midwest. Retro Uprising. I was pretty surprised by that, but they have some good.
so close.
Now, I made a solid effort to
Yeah, you
get
did.
Twin Galaxies above Donkey Kong. While everybody's at the Kong off, I was playing MAME as much as possible,
How
and
did,
I
how did it work?
I
for
got
you?
a lot of points,
Oh,
and
you
then
did.
somebody else pushed us over Donkey Kong on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, we were beating the Donkey Kong
Oh,
Forum,
man.
Twin Galaxies.
You
and
guys
then
did it too early.
I think the last day Donkey Kong Forum beat us back. So no hoodies for Team Twin Galaxies. Now, Wes, I want to say thank you for this. I didn't play last year, but it was very incredible. It's very, very cool little setup you have here.
That's good. That's cool.
Where did it
Yeah,
where did the idea come from?
I have quite a lot to say about IGBY2 now that the event's over. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that and then what you can expect for next year. So, like you said, Mark won as expected by a huge margin. What's interesting is the max out, or the highest possible score a team could earn in the event, was 6,020 points. So Mark earned over 5,200 points at the tournament. So that means that they were almost 90% of the way to a perfect score. P&S, the Galloping Ghost group who came in second, trailed Mark by over 800 points. So that's a huge margin between first and second.
Oh, yeah.
A little over 4,200 submissions in the event. That's about a 35% increase from Igby 1. Basically, that makes this the most submitted to online MAME or arcade tournament of all time. So we're also pretty happy about the activity that happened on Twitch. There were nearly 600 hours of live gameplay that was streamed for competitions. That's literally 25 days straight of IGBY2 footage during the course of the entire event.
My stuff is dandy footage too.
Yep.
Me swearing.
Yeah.
I reset time scanner like 400 times. One night. I was determined 500,000. And then,
No, that's pretty fancy, man.
Very-
So IGBY3, so I can reveal a little bit. I can't talk about everything that's kind of in the works, but I could talk about a bit.
Give us
First
a
of
little
all-
teaser.
Yeah, first it will not be called IGBY3.
What?
I quit.
It would be
What?
called IGBY 2016. So I felt somebody, I think it was Don Atreides, gave me that idea. I think it's a good one. That way, sort of whenever we talk about IGBY 3 or 4 or 5, we know what year we're talking about. So I think that's a good change, and it's more in line with other arcade tournaments that are going on, excluding the Kongo. The tournament.vg site, which I have spent the last 5 months developing, is going to go through some huge changes between now and then. A lot of this I can't talk just yet about, but there are some things I can talk about. So there are some areas that I'm going to spend a lot of time improving. One of those is the disqualification process if your score is DQ'd. During Igby 2, if you had a score that was disqualified, it just sort of vanished into thin air, and you didn't know it was removed from the board, much less why. That's all going to change. So I'm currently in the process of building a notification system on the site similar to how Facebook notifications work. And after that is implemented, every DQ will require a reason why. So you won't be left in the dark if your score just vanishes. So another area that's going to be improved is uploading of evidence. From now on, if you're providing a screenshot for evidence, you'll be able to simply drag and drop it onto the site and be done with it. You won't have to worry about posting it somewhere else. Yeah, this is something that TG specifically had a lot of issues with. Yeah, so...
Lazy gamers at Twin Galaxies.
I expected better, to be honest, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna I'll do everything I can to improve the site to make it easier to use. So also right now... What is that?
The console so-called Gamer of the Year dropped the ball, too. I got more points.
What the hell?
I got more points
I
than
can't
Glenn.
believe it.
What? Yeah. I got more points than Glenn.
Dude, Glenn, what the hell? Glennis.
Okay, anyway.
Change
No all-star. I'm like...
The all-star, yes.
Jeez.
And he had a few scores on there that held up for a little while, but I don't think he was able to sustain it. But from what I understand, he has some things going on right now, so that's... Yeah, it's a long tournament, and it's a big investment to compete in something like IGB 2, where near the end, I mean, it's engineered in such a way that you have to really specialize on 2 or 3 games, or your scores just won't matter unless you're just a MAME god. It's just the way that it is.
Unless it's a game you've already played, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really
this Pac-Man, sweet. I know that game back of my hand.
Yep.
But like me, all the games, like Bubble Bobble 2, since I played a lot of Bubble Bobble, I was very successful without grinding very much.
Yeah.
Granted, if I grinded, I would probably get a higher score. But then I found some games that were really fun, and I kept grinding them because they were so much fun. San was like awesome.
Great
That's
game.
Me and Nick,
my God.
I think me and Nick are gonna go for the 2-player on
Yeah,
Twin
I'd love to.
Galaxies. Just
wow.
I love that game, and that's what's cool about.
We're
this.
not even really good at it right now, but it's so much fun to play that you could easily get good at the game
And
just because it's fun.
That's probably a reason why I was a bad teammate. Because
that is a fantastic game, and the NES port, which is not currently tracked by Twin Galaxies, is also great. It's a fantastic port.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, it was released in Japan only, but it's a fantastic version of the game.
That's why we don't know about it.
No.
So I have 2 more points I want to talk about with IGB 2016. Both kind of aren't related to the tournament, but more to the site itself, but they're pretty big points. So right now, I'm having to manually set up every event hosted on tournament.vg. Like I have to go in, enter it into the database, enter who the organizer is, enter who the rule, enter all that stuff. The end goal is for this to be as hands-off as possible, and what that means is you will be eventually able to go in and create your own events with your own games, with your own format and scoring system, with your own requirements and rules, and for the foreseeable future, this will all be free. So there's there's a lot of work going into this right now, but it's on the way.
Very cool. I might have some uses for that.
What's up?
I might have some personal and gigantic uses for that.
Gigantic.
You'll be free. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it'll all be there for you to act. Yeah, you'll be able to go in and set up whatever you want. So the one last thing that I want to mention, the last point I want to bring up, I've been overwhelmed by Twin Galaxies' support of IGB 2. But I specifically believe that the tournament.vg platform could be of a direct benefit to many future events that TG throws their weight into. So one thing I've been clamoring for is tighter TG integration. So I have a Skype call scheduled with Jace Hall tomorrow to talk just about that. Nothing is promised, nothing is set in stone. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that right now, but I'm very excited to see what the future might hold.
That's great, man.
That's great. Tell me sucks at Zookeeper. So he's a noob.
Yeah.
He likes throwing that term around. That term's kind of like old already. He's still like kind of.
My God.
I'm just joking. I'm gonna.
No, you know what the best part about you making the name IGB 2016 is what? Now next year it will officially have 2 separate names. Because I can guarantee you, we will say, and IGB 2016, aka IGB 3, is starting in 2 weeks.
Oh, we love titles here.
We're huge fans of giving everything at least 2 or 3 names. So we appreciate the name change.
Actually, we hope you change the name every year.
Yeah, we wanted you to change it every year so we can just be like, and this is me, Igby 74.
It'd be the revival.
Exactly, like Igby Reloaded. Igby Returns.
Yes.
Actually, Igby Returns sounds like a movie I kind of want to see.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome. And obviously, I didn't even participate in it, but it was pretty much my favorite thing every Friday.
Nick got to watch me play these games.
It was great. I play these games that I've never heard of. Half of them I've never heard of. Sansan is one of those games I wish it would have been out when we were kids.
Well, it was in Japan.
You know what I mean.
I know.
But we didn't grow up in Japan. But
We should have.
Oh my God, we played Bubble Bobble all the time. That's even more fun than
That Bubble Bobble too. I never played
that
it.
game's great.
That was great. I grinded Rainbow Islands for a while, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's frustrating.
But,
Oh, I want to throw
Sansan's a game I would have been obsessed with as a child.
one more thing. You guys should give a huge shout out to Wolfman. He's not in the chat right now. He couldn't be on tonight, but he's also the co-organizer of the event. And the event really is his brainchild.
Okay.
He was the sole organizer of Igby 1. So without him, we wouldn't be talking about this today. So yeah, I just came in this year and I hopped on board and I developed the site and everything and sort of streamlined everything. But this really is his brainchild. And he does so much in organizing this tournament and many others. It's fantastic what he does for the scene. He doesn't put himself in the limelight. He's just a great person in the scene.
yeah, so definitely
No.
hands off to him. I know
Absolutely.
he watched.
Oh!
He watched a lot of my streams and commented on it. I was
Hey,
like, hey, that's
That's all
awesome.
you can ask for.
So yeah, very cool. Thank him. Thank you. It was great gaming entertainment for sure. Definitely,
Oh, yeah.
It definitely stopped some submissions to Twin Galaxies.
Oh,
I
I'm
noticed that.
sure.
It slowed down my submissions, and I think it slowed down quite a bit. But that's fine.
It's July, man.
It gives us a break to playing the game.
exactly.
Like I love playing PlayStation portable games. Yeah,
they're
you know,
awesome,
I got
man.
some NFL games to start playing here. Just to
Painful.
grind out and get rid of. But it was very nice, cool break. Well, I see that on the site. I'll
Oh.
show everybody. What's the next thing?
It's Igby 2016.
The NES Gaming Bash of the Year. Do you have any news on that for us or no?
It's to be announced.
We've been talking about this event all year long, and it keeps getting. I think it's been delayed 3 times now.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't have anything I can say about this right now. We have a format figured out. We have a games list figured out. But I'm really not comfortable going into any detail on it just because I'm afraid it will be. Right now, I can't even give you a date on when it will be. Just probably this year.
Oh,
That's. Or just like I know a lot. When I registered for the website, I'm like, oh, Donkey Kong Online. Oh, great! I love Donkey Kong as much as you know. But then I saw NES Gaming Bash of the Year. I'm like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Data.
All I can tell you
Data.
is it's going to happen. I can't tell you when. Whenever I'm able to say when, I will be able to give a lot more detail. But I'm just not comfortable. I'd feel like I was lying to you if I gave you details and then had to change them later.
You know how many times we had to do that with the old Twin Galaxies?
Oh my-
We held back so much
Weekly for
information.
months.
We held back so much information because we knew it wasn't going to happen, even though people told us.
Oh, yeah,
I
they were
told-
like, talk about this tonight. We're like, no,
No.
we can't.
no, there's going to be this trading card thing, or there's no. Oh, that reminds me.
Because
real
they
quick.
blame us when it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so I totally forgot that.
Wow.
2 weekends from now, Icon event in Fairfield, Iowa. Trading card event
Yeah.
with Walter Day in Fairfield. Just go on Facebook. You can't miss it. They're going to put a plaque up at the old Twin Galaxies.
Fairfield, Iowa.
Yeah, well, in Ottumwa on Sunday morning. I don't have the date with me right now. In 2 weeks, you can find it on Facebook.
August.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. They're going to put up a big old plaque where the old Twin Galaxies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from the state, like a historical marker.
Oh, cool.
That's going up Sunday. So if you're in the middle of Iowa, go see good old Walter. There's
Davo.
that event coming up. We forgot to mention that in the beginning. And real quickly,
Chunky
we
soup,
still have
baby.
some time, and I do have one or
We got
two
5
questions for Data before I forget.
Yeah.
For you Canadian fans who watch our show all the time, please come down to Toronto.
Yes.
Nick is coming.
Mhm.
We will be at the NHL 94 tournament in Toronto. right next to the Air Canada Center. We will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So send me a message on Facebook on our Settle It on the Screen. We'll hook up sometimes. We'll drink some beers. You'll watch me and Nick win NHL 94 money and stuff like that. So I know a lot of you out there live in Ontario. So please come see us. We definitely want to hang out with you at that point.
Oh, we can get more Bud Light Apple, man.
More Bud Light Apple.
Yes!
Actually, I'm more excited about that than
That's
anything
so ridiculous.
else.
I don't even like it that much, but I can't buy it.
I
so
just want more sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
Data,
Maybe
we
we
were
like this
talking about Replay FX. You were talking about how they have all consoles. I had a question, and then we just skipped over it. Did they have a Channel F?
A channel up?
Channel
What does
F.
that mean?
Yes.
I didn't see, but there was tons of systems from other markets like Europe or Japan, right? There were Famicoms and Super Famicom, so there may have been that I didn't notice.
We will make sure next year
There's a Channel F.
there's a Channel F. So
I saw one. I saw one.
Oh, okay.
You did? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's 3 then. That means there's 3.
There's 3 of them out there.
We have 2 of them.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, they had every. I was really surprised just by the depth of all the systems that they had there. I believe I saw the Channel F at one of the vendors. I don't think it was actually like being played, but it was for sale.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll bring
Sounds
one.
like a Channel
I'll bring
F.
one up that everybody can watch.
Yeah, for some reason the controllers don't seem to work that well. But you
fine.
can play Pong on it.
Yeah.
It comes with Pong. You
Doesn't
don't-
everything come with Pong?
back then? Yeah. Yeah, but unlike the Pong thing, it also came with addition and subtraction.
Cool.
That's awesome. That is exciting, actually. Do you know how much it was going for, by chance?
No, I didn't check. I was just kind of glancing around. The vendors, they were all lined up against a wall, and I was just kind of perusing through, just seeing what they all had in stock. There was one vendor there that, like I mentioned, who had like every single NES game you could ever imagine, and I believe that was the vendor who had the Channel F. They had not only every NES game you can think of, but just for all kinds of different. They just had crates and crates and crates of retro games and systems. It was awesome.
One thing that you have to be aware of, the Kong off, as big as it was, as amazing as it was just a fraction of what was there, because they had $120,000 in prize money for a pinball tournament, right? So there was, seriously, $120,000. So they had, there was 500 pinball, at least 500 pinball machines, like 500. That is an amazing. There was so many rare ones, and they're beautiful condition. There were none. I mean, there were a few that were broken, during play, but you didn't walk up to one and go, the flippers are weak. Oh, the lights are burnt out. This is what a piece of crap. Like, I never had any experiences like that. I love pinball.
Yeah. Oh man, we could.
Oh, that's all I ever want to play.
That's the problem. We could go next year to help out with the broadcast, but we might get distracted by pinball because
Not much.
that happens.
When I go, I bring my camera. I brought my truck. I took 2,000 photos, and I still played more pinball than I could imagine. Right? So the place was open till 2 a.m. It doesn't close at 10, where everyone has to rush out. 2 a.m. and they serve beer at night.
Oh!
It was incredible.
You read my mind.
They had the largest pinball machine in the world there. It was pretty cool. It was out in the lobby, and it was so big. You had flippers like normal, but the ball, instead of using a pinball...
Hey guys, you have 1 minute remaining.
Oh no!
Go ahead, Wes.
Go on, Wes. Big pinball game.
It was using a cue ball instead of a pinball.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, you don't tilt Hercules. Hercules tilts you. The thing thumps.
Oh,
It's huge.
That's
That
I've
sounds
seen
great.
it. Well, cool. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, telling us about your Con
Yeah,
4
definitely,
experience.
guys.
And
Great.
thank you again, Wes, for the information on next year's IGB 2016.
Or AKA
And-
IGBY 3.
And DataGod, plan next year to be on our show again.
Yes.
As long as we're still here to be on our show. So for my host, Nick Houslander, I'm Michael Sroka. Thanks for tuning in to Settle on the Screen.
Thanks for hanging with us for a year, you guys.
Yeah,
We
thank you
appreciate
for
it.
all of us watching, especially on iTunes. We still love the viewership. I can't believe how many of you watch us.
It's,
So thanks, and
Thank you very
we'll see you next week. If I have a few seconds here, I'm going to show some pictures from 5 years
yeah, I was going to
ago.
say we didn't get to the pictures.
No, I'll try.
Get to them.
I'm hurrying.
Where are they?
That's not it.
That's not it.
I don't know how to work this.
It's one of these. If
And
not-
you're out.
Oh.
Sorry guys.
Galaxies.